Good afternoon and happy Sunday to you. Welcome to Ambassador. Good afternoon and happy Sunday to you. Welcome to Ambassador in the Marketplace podcast. How are you doing? Good to see you. And how is your Sunday going? I'm thankful to God for you, and I'm thankful for being able to broadcast this episode of Ambassador in the Marketplace. I am Temitope, your host. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and at the Clubhouse. Before I continue, I want to encourage you to share this broadcast on your status and social media platform, as well as invite someone to enjoy this talk show with you. Without further ado, let's get the show on the road as I welcome our guest today, Limitless Loretta. Welcome on Ambassador in the Marketplace.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
All right, it's good to have you on the show. Please, can you tell us about how did our name actually how did we come about Limitless Loretta?
My name is Limitless Loretta. And I started an interesting business where I was asked to show up for a training. And at that training, we were asked to write positive words about ourselves using our name. And my local name is Aderonke. So I started writing. A is for audacious, D is for dynamic, E is for energy. I got lots of energy, as you can tell. R is for resilience, O is for optimism, being optimistic, and then N, I got stuck. So I left N and went to K. I said K is for knowledgeable. Yeah, I'm knowledgeable. And E, God knows I have a lot of E's in my life because I'm very enthusiastic. So I said enthusiasm. So then the N, I was like, oh my God, I can't find something for N. And most of the people in the room, there was not a Nike or an Ngozi or a Nelly. So I was like, what would I use? Then I said, actually, what is it about me that N can describe? And it was, I said non-stopping. And then for some months, it was non-stopping. I just had it in my affirmations, that written with my name. But I was like, the non-stopping doesn't flow. You get what I mean? So one day I was listening to one of my mentors preaching, and he was talking about the word limitless. I was like, there we go. And then my middle name is Loretta. So I was named after my father with that name. So I removed the Mary, and a lot of people call me Loretta. And then I was like, actually, it rhymes. Limitless and Loretta. That's it. That's how we came about Limitless Loretta.
Oh, wow.
And it just tells my whole life story because it's all about being limitless.
Wow, this is exciting. I think I might go and actually do that to my name. Like giving every African giving something.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
absolutely.
I must say, I can't help myself before I ask you any other question. I came across your video. I must say, I was like, okay, this is like one person in front of me and another person on Facebook. I would like to know how that video thing
I hope it's not a crazy
came
one.
about.
Loretta! It is out of control. See your face. I thought I should watch YouTube, and I did. And then I saw one woman trying to do her face, so I thought I should try and do the same thing. I swear. Loretta, this is not how to control your face. Oh, Auntie Sisi, what will I do now? Auntie Sisi, help me. What will I do? I'm going to party and I have to look good. I have to really look good. Oh.
Let me be serious, so don't let me enter comedy. Let me be posh.
Right, I hope you, our audience, you actually enjoyed that video. So the question I have for our guest today is, when did you start producing those videos? How did that all start?
How did I come about comedy? I used to be a very serious girl, like really very serious. Like I'm all about the books so I can get my money. And my cousin used to laugh at me like, 1 minute you're very nice and friendly, the next minute you're frowning, because we used to read on the dining table back in the days. So he was the first person who noticed that I could easily switch from one character to another character. I was great with acting in school as well, especially in my primary school, so I always had lead roles and things like that. But I forgot all about that as a grown-up lead. Actually, I was also in spoken word drama department in church. As you know, church is a great community where you can put your talents to play. So all that really helped. So fast track here in the UK, a friend of mine, or a colleague of mine, should I say, in business, encouraged me to start doing live videos on Facebook. So I'll do those videos. I'll be like, cut, it's not good, cut. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to make it look professional, but anything that has to be me has to be. Not one video ever made it to the internet. Then after one day I took my husband, I was like, we're going to Marriott today, we're going to record everything, and all that. One made it to the internet. So that made me shy away, because I was like, it just has to be perfect. So this particular lady, encouraged me, and she was like, you've got to go live, you've got to go live. I'm like, no. She said, no, you have to go live. Just touch, the red button. So we did the first one, and I had almost 1,000 views, and people were like, oh, you're so natural, you're so this, you're so that. I was like, oh, really? So I started working on it, and I did quite a number of videos. So I'd been praying, and one of the days while I was praying, I literally remember I was driving, and I was speaking in tongues. I was coming out of, I think, is it Limehouse Link or whatever, and I had in my mind, speak your local dialect, on your live session. And that's how I really got into it, developed characters for it. And most of it just comes to me like inspiration, and then I just go on set. Sometimes I pull my children in. I don't give them any script. I'm just like, we're going on set. And they're like, yeah, we're ready. And boom. And some of our best hits are actually the ones I had my children, also role playing in them. Yeah, so that's how it all came about.
There you have it. Just in case the Holy Spirit has been telling you something and you actually think it's the devil, it's not the devil. It's the Holy Spirit.
Test our spirits, though.
Listen, and you test our spirit, but God is trying to tell you your next business, and you're thinking it's the devil. It's probably not the devil. Actually, why don't you go back to God and let Him tell you more about it? And as you step out, you will be surprised. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I am interested in what are the challenges that you have faced in the industry, especially your industry being about beauty and health, skin. Tell us.
Very good question. Thank you very much. Wow, what are the challenges? Well, I think before I talk about the challenges, I'll go back to that name, Limitless Loretta. I'm someone who's faced a lot of challenges in my life, and it's just so interesting. But above all, I'm really very grateful, that I have a relationship with God, and I mean, that's the best decision I ever made in my life, because even my best friend knows, I always say it. Wow. Okay, that means that anyone who doesn't know God, I don't know how they do it. I really don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. So anyway, so back to the point. So I always say I love challenges. I love challenges because I love solving problems. If you tell me something is difficult, I think that's why I used to be a tomboy as well. If you tell me something is difficult, I'll be like, really? Especially if you tell me that girls don't do that, girls can't do that, I'll be like, you know what, watch me. I'm going to do it. So I think that has helped me in my business because honestly, there's absolutely no reason why a tomboy would become a beauty consultant who didn't even know how to do her own makeup, right? Would now start helping people to do their makeup on their most, important days, so to speak, or teaching about beauty and skincare and things like that. So to me, it was a challenge. However, it's also about my why. What is the reason why I want to do whatever it is that I want to do? Be it at work, in my professional job, or be it in my beauty business. It's about my why, and I think that's the greatest driving force, so to speak. So I always want to see things to the end, and I don't like to say something and then turn back. And I always pray that I have the wisdom to always choose the right thing, because if it's not, because of who I am, I'm like, I ain't giving up until this gets done. So talking about challenges, I've had quite a few, quite a lot, to be honest, because like I said, when I started this business, I was a new immigrant in the country. I was literally about a year in the country. So I didn't know people. I had a very small circle of influence. And the line of business that I do, that you have to, not know a lot of people, but you have to be willing, to connect with a lot of people because the numbers really do matter. So that was my number one biggest challenge. When I was asked to write a contact list of 30 people, I could only write eight. As in 1 year in the UK, that time I was already working full-time in my professional job, and I couldn't write up to 8 people that I really know, not people that I just see, but people that I really know that I could call to say, hey, guess what, I'm starting something new. It was 8. So I told myself, Houston, we got a problem. I was like, we got a problem here. But because I'd been to the meeting, I'd seen, women who did the business and did so well. And I was like, if this one can do it, why can't I? She's got 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth like myself. Some of them I'm even taller than them. I'm like, girl, you can do it. So hit the road. Hit the road, baby. Whatever it takes, you better do it as long as it's positive.
We thank God for what He's doing now. So my next question would be, so how do you represent Christ in your line of work, especially serving people who are Christian and non-Christian?
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much. Okay, so number one is I'm not perfect. I am aspiring to be perfect, but I know my Bible tells me that, we'll continue to look into the perfect law of liberty, and I'll continue to get better until that day, when mortality takes up immortality, right? So I know I'm not perfect, but I do try as much as I can, because guess what? One of the reasons I actually really took that business serious is what I felt I had in my spirit. To answer the question, how do I relate this to, how do I use this, to minister for Christ? This is not a place where you just walk up to people and have like, you're going to go to hell, repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. Yes, there's a place for that. But like your life and the way you do things should, portray Christ. So we should let our light shine so that men may see and give glory to God in heaven. So the question was now, is it inside your house that your light is going to shine? Do you have friends in this new place, apart from the same people that you've known from back home that maybe you came here together? Okay, then the people in your church. But are you only called to the people in your church? And I was like, So I was like, oh my goodness, what? Right? Okay, so I was like, okay, great. So when I now started this business, went back in prayer, I saw it as a tool to minister for Christ. But without rubbing it on, people, overwhelming people and pushing it down their throat. And that doesn't mean that I'm not That doesn't mean that I don't love Christ. I sincerely do love Christ. But I also realize that, our lives can be great tools of evangelism, to a lot of people out there. Because when they see, the way you do your stuff, the way you live, maybe just one day they could ask you, wow, I love the way you do your things, tell me more. And then you can start that conversation. And I think now in business, it's really shown me that, the different ways that we can be the light, be ambassadors for Christ. That's the word that I'm looking for. There are different ways that we can be ambassadors for Christ as long as we know our core value. What is our core value? We know that to have eternal life is to know Christ, who God sent, his son, to die for us and all of that. So I was like, okay, great. Yeah, Lord, I'm open to that. And I'll be happy to do that. So anytime I stepped into many homes through this business opportunity. Many homes, many places that I have no business being in, either as an IT professional or even as a gospel singer or whatever. Homes that I would not have stepped into if not for this beauty opportunity. But I believe in every way I've hopefully been light, to such people that I've met. Of course, not everyone that you meet will love you 100%, but I really do try. Sometimes I really go out of my way, to really portray Christ, and to make them see that, it's more about you, and that accepting Christ and living for Christ is not about religion. No, it's your relationship, with Christ. And I'm grateful that through this opportunity I've been able to minister to a few. Just wouldn't want to go into details because we're on camera. But I've been able to minister to a few. One in particular, this was a few months of me starting the business. The only reason why I spoke to her was because I was like, okay. Remember, I didn't have a lot of contacts, so I had to learn how to warm up to people, start and engage people and start a conversation with the hope of, either leaving a positive mark or, being able to exchange numbers so that we can take it forward to this business. And I met this particular person. I was like, oh, okay, can I? Hey, hi, would it offend you if I offer you my business card? And she was like, no. And then one thing led to the other. She started telling me a lot of things. One in part, it was the first time I heard about people slashing themselves. Never. And she was showing me there are different ways, and it's not many I would like to toot, because at the end of the day, we know who we're doing it for. It's all for Christ, But for me, that particular experience really made me see the importance of what I'm doing, that you are light and you need to, be light to a lot more people. And I pray that God gives me the grace to continue. And like I said, I'm not perfect, but I'm available.
There you go. So don't think that you can't preach the gospel, and if you're getting the nudge to ask somebody, please do ask them, because that might be the opportunity to connect. And as they connect, guess what? You just make God smile. You put smile on God's face. I want to ask you, how do you manage people who want free?
Oh. That's a very interesting question, because in my line of business, we actually do certain things free. What I really want to do is offer value. How can I offer value to you? So the first engagement is, I'm even wanting to send you maybe some free samples in the post, so that we can, hop on the internet and do stuff together. Or back in the days, I actually offer, to come to yours, or if you can come to my event, so that I can actually pamper you. That session is completely free. Right? So yes, there's a tendency for people to,
want to milk that.
Exactly. And think that I've done, God knows how many places I've done their makeover and everything free, and they bought nothing, when I finished. But I think it's the attitude that matters most. So those people who want free sometimes, and it's happened, sometimes I just smile, sometimes I let them know that, hey, you know what, this service is not free. So this part of the service is free. Because now when people now want you to come and do their makeup, they're thinking, or they'll stylishly say, oh yeah, I want to try or test stuff. But then they finish, they're really not buying much, and they're taking that face to party. This is well before we had a lot of, makeup artists, like we now have. So my my leader taught me some tips, and I can come and, teach you how to do one side. Then you go and do the other side by yourself, So that was one way I got around it. The other way was, I let them know, this is my service. If you want me to do your makeup, this is the cost. If you want me to, do try before you buy, which is what we usually would do anyway, I'm fine, I'm going to do that for you. But it's going to be instructional led. So I'm going to be instructing you on what to do. Because really, it's a no-touch policy. It's from my niceness that I start, helping you know that really I should teach you how to, so that when I leave, you're able to replicate whatever it is, that we've tried here today. So that has really, really helped. But also, I cast my bread upon the waters. One day it will come back to me, and it has come back to me in many ways, not only in this business. So for me, I don't bother. I know God in heaven always has a way, of paying me 30, 100-fold. So why should I bother?
Excellent. There you go. There's no free lunch in Freetown. Everything. So, we are all running business, and so the service, obviously, we have to pay bills, as you know. My other question, how did you cope during COVID?
Ooh, that's a beautiful question. That is a beautiful question. So, during COVID until date has been a great blessing. Now, of course, a lot of things happened during COVID, and we do not make take that. We're not taking that situation for granted, where people lost people. I lost. I think I lost a client of mine lost her hobby, and even me, I can't bring myself to terms. Sometimes I still look at the text message that I sent, and I'm like, that person is just gone. So I understand that, but on the other side, it was a blessing in disguise, but it didn't seem to me like a blessing in disguise at first. So my line of business, like I told you, remember, I didn't know people, so I had to, engage with people, go out, speak to people when I'm going to work, when I'm going to buy, when I'm doing my shopping, whatever. I always engage with people. Would it offend you if I offer you my business card? And we start from there. And through that, I was able to build my contact list to over 5,000, to be honest. Wow. Yes. So, many times I've even my phone, maybe my phone crashed or lost my diary. So I know that it is more than that. But at least that, I can pull up, it's over 5,000. But here comes COVID. We're all shut indoors. We can't go out. Even to go and run sometimes, we had certain rules and things, policies to go by, or procedures. So I was like, God, what's going to happen to my business? And I've been growing this business for years. Like, as of COVID, I think I was already 11 years in the business, 2020. Yeah, about 11 to 12 years. Anyways, fast track. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And I was just praying. You're even praying to be alive, isn't it? Yes. This was March, and it was also a big moment for us in our family, because there was a deal we were closing up on. So there was a lot going on. But I kept researching, kept thinking about different things, Then I remember that you have that, what's it called? Insight to start sending samples. My leader had already done that, and she taught me, and I tried it. We sent samples, and then we use WhatsApp video or to chat, I tried one or two. I got some good leads, but then I was like, hey, this is for me. This isn't for me. So I put it aside. I wasn't really keen to do it. So, but before COVID, just before COVID hit, I've been having that inspiration again in my mind to really go all out, with my sampling, through posts. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I started with perfumes. I'll just spray. It's funny. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this on air, but that's me. That's, what you see is what you get. So I'll sanitize my hands, spray perfume, cotton pad, seal it up in a nice pretty cellophane bag. I did all sorts to make it pretty, and then I first sent it out to team members, and I took it to some of my clients who lived around the area. Just put it through their doors. Some of them threw it away immediately. One lady in particular texted, "Oh, I'm sorry, I threw it away because of COVID." And so I was like, okay, I need to find another way. But anyways, it all tied up together in April. So COVID started in March. That March, I froze in my business, so to speak. A few people were still ordering stuff. Just put it in the post. But April, I was like, oh no. The first thing was I put myself in the space where I could be shifted. So there's this amazing leader in our company who's in another country, and I was so blessed, to be allowed to learn from her while she's training her team. So a lot of them were talking about their success, and I'm like, this COVID thing is international. At this point in time, it's not local. If they are able to make a success out of their business, wake up. Are they okay? There must be something that you can do. So eternally, I'm grateful to that, to this particular leader and her leaders, because all of them, putting heads together, giving ideas, and what they did that March. One in particular had massive results, and all of us were like, so I was like, okay, I can do this. And then I started. First, I called my team. I was like, this is new waters for me. I don't know how to chart this course, but I am going to, do my best. And I'm not going to teach you what I have not even done. So I cannot tell you that this is the way or what. Watch me. If I make a success out of it, I'll come back and tell you guys. But most importantly, are you guys okay? If you ever need someone to talk to, if you need, we just made sure that, we were all good, we were happy. I think maybe like 8 people in my team came on the call, and we had a good chat, After that, I was like, you know what? Why not start calling people to say, in light of what is going on, I'd love to pamper you, just to increase positivity, because it was all I stopped listening to the news because I am really driven by auditory stuff. Whatever I hear really drives me. So I was like, you know what, I can't listen to this anymore. And that's how I started calling people, and they're like, yeah, sure. Some of them was even text. 20 people responded. Wow. So I went to their house. I won't go inside. I'll put it through the letterbox, samples, of the product, and then I'll go back home. I'm like, yeah, it's in the letterbox. Go and get it. And then she gets it. I'm like, okay, after work. And then after work, we get on WhatsApp, do the video. We just have fun. We wash our face together, laugh, and everything. And by themselves, they started asking me, oh, okay, so this cleanser, how much is it? I'm like, okay, you don't need only cleanser. You need cleanser and moisturizer. You see that I will put moisturizer. And that's how, bit by bit. And I sold quite an amount during the pandemic. Wow. April 2020. Now, it wasn't as much as I would sell when, I could go out and all that. But this is me. I didn't have to drive, except for, the places that I had to drive to put the whatever in the letterbox, which was around me, so to speak, maybe 5 minutes drive or 10 minutes drive. I didn't have to stress. The only thing is when they buy, I take it to the post office. I didn't have to do too much because in my business we have to dress up. So I could just be dressed from halfway up. So I was like, girl, this is good. Why didn't I ever think of this? And I started teaching my team. That was it. Our business grew by 65%. Wow. Yes, during the pandemic. And back to back, even after the pandemic, we did better again. For every year since 2020, we have actually been on an upward trajectory.
So, COVID or no COVID, you can still shine your light, but more than that, you can still, God can give you idea to survive
Absolutely.
in COVID period and even thrive, not just survive, thrive in the COVID period. That is exciting. So tell us, where have you been with this business, i.e. your team traveling? Because I notice on your Facebook, sorry, I follow you. So I always see you, oh, I'm here, and I'm thinking, how? Share with us, because I know people only see one side of you and they don't know this side of you. So tell us, how is business? Where has it taken you? Where has God taken you?
Thank you. Well, I'm supposed to be a private person, so. But if you ask, okay, I will. I'll tell you. Right. So again, remember that I said that when I started this business, I really had been praying. So it's something I really wanted. So as a young girl, I'd always wanted to be an international businesswoman. Even in my line of work, I always wanted something, that involved travel, and I was blessed. The IT job I did back at home in my home country, I traveled quite a lot with that as well. So I was looking for something to replicate that a bit, because the IT job I do now doesn't involve any traveling. So with my business, I had the opportunity to build internationally, to build my team across 7 Western European countries, and I took it up. So, but it's just amazing how God makes things work for you. Even though I'd always wanted to travel and be an international businesswoman, the first few people that brought this, that opened this up for me, were just connected to me. So, just to tie everything up, the whole story, you remember, I always smile to people at the station, anywhere I'm going, I engage, right? So I engaged with this particular lady, even before I became a leader in the business. I just saw her, she looked pretty, so I walked up to her and, we engaged, we became very close. She was a client as well, a good client as well. So when I was going into leadership, she joined my my team just to support me. And then one day she calls me, she's like, hey, I've got a friend from Germany who wants to sign up, who's looking for America. I said, okay, yeah, I'll show you, I'll help you sign up. She said, no, you sign her up. I said, auntie. She said, no. Like, I just came in to support you. I don't need it. I'm like, auntie, you sure? She said, yes. So I went and, signed up this lady. So that's how I got my first German team member. And then from there, we were able to expand to different countries. Some are by other team members as well. When you come to my team, I always let you know that, girl, this is an international business. You can grow and spread your wings anywhere, within the 7 Western European countries. And then there's another level where you can actually go outside of the 7 Western European countries. And I'm blessed to have been able to partake. So it's something that I intentionally built. And for me, what you see is what you get. If you come into my team, I want to make sure that I've given you my best, as long as you are ready to engage with my best. So if you tell me your goal, I always do goal setting. If you tell me your goal, and I know it's something you really want, if you're far away from me, I will travel down to you. I may not travel immediately, but I'll travel down to you. That's my promise. So I always make sure I try to meet them one-on-one, face to face. So I get to know them, get to support them in the business, and do launch events for them. So that's why I travel that much. Apart from 1 or 2 that I've earned from the company, all expense paid. Most of it's me, my word is my bond, traveling to support my team, and we love it.
Excellent. Guess what, if you want to support that team, my last question to you is, what would be your advice to anyone who wants to come into your business? Oh my
goodness. Okay, great. So for me, I think I said it already during the course of this interview. Number 1 is remove the dollar signs from your eyes. Okay, remove the dollar signs. If you're in a hurry, this is not a business where you just hit 1 million in one day. It's, if it happens, maybe it can, but it's not happened to me, and I let people know that. Remove the dollar signs. Will you make money? Yes, you will, but you've got to be teachable and coachable. 2, integrity and discipline. Actually, those 2 come first. before the before the dollar sign, because that would help. If you don't have integrity and discipline, that dollar sign is going to, even if you remove it, it will pop back up in your face, because it is something that, who doesn't want money? Everybody wants money, or most people want money, right? So, but money flows to where there's value. So rather build yourself, put your body in the place where it can be shifted. Like I said, when I was frozen in my business, I put myself in the place where I could be shifted. Some of those meetings are in the dead of the night when everybody's sleeping. I'm joining the United States, one meeting or the other, because I want to learn. So put yourself in the place where you can be shifted, right? And then take ownership for your own journey and your own life, be it business, be it parenting, be it married, whatever you do, your spiritual life. Take ownership, of your own journey. There's so much that I can say, but I don't want to.
Wow! Thank you so much. So I want you to look in the camera and tell our people what you do, how they can reach you, what services you provide. If you provide mentoring, if you provide coaching, like you talked about, please let our audience know.
Oh my goodness.
And by the way, before our guests speak, it's not for free. There is no free lunch in Freetown.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for listening. My name is Aderonke, aka Limitless Loretta. My surname, you've got to hold your seat. Are you ready? Because you might roll off. Okay, so my surname is very long. It is Adedojo Dibigbo. And I love it so, because it makes me unique. I'm an independent beauty consultant with Mary Kay Cosmetics, and also a sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics. I've been building my business for 14 years. If you're looking for someone to help you customize products to help you look and feel your best, I'm your girl. Give me a bell. You can find me on Facebook. On Facebook, my name is Aderonke, space Dojio on Facebook. Okay, should I spell Aderonke? Okay, Aderonke, then space Dojio. You can connect with me, or just look for Limitless Loretta on any social media platform, and you might find me. Just connect with me and we can take it from there. Thank you.
It's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
And I love that name. And like I said, I will definitely do my own assignments of signing my name and looking for all the alphabet that describe who I am.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for having you on the show.
Thank you.
And I believe our audience, they've been able to learn from your story.
Absolutely.
And one thing that stands out for me is about that being limitless. And don't let anything stop you. You can shine and you can be authentic Christian in the marketplace, and you're called to be an ambassador in the marketplace. Until 2 weeks time when we're back on the show, enjoy your Sunday and God bless.